Good morning, and welcome to the 2014 Mayor's Commission on Disability Issues, Disability Awareness and Recognition Awards. It's my pleasure to introduce a few of the great people of the City of Phoenix who are here today to honor and appreciate the great businesses, educators, and volunteers that make Phoenix such a wonderful place. So, to my left, Mayor Greg Stanton.
Thank you. Good morning.
We have Ed Zuercher. And Trevor Bowie. To name just a few that are here to honor you, the people of this great city. So we're here today to commemorate October as the Disability Awareness Month, to honor community members for their advocacy efforts, to recognize city departments for their commitment to accessibility and innovation. So it is now my pleasure to introduce the Director of the Equal Opportunity Department, Deputy Trevor Bowie.
It is a distinct pleasure to be here today at the City of Phoenix Disability Awareness and Recognition Award ceremony. On behalf of the City of Phoenix Equal Opportunity Department and the Mayor's Commission on Disability Issues, we welcome you. There are many ways that people step forward to make a difference in our community. Often, the essence of what they do is very simple. It is an emotional commitment. It comes from the heart. The work of the Mayor's Commission on Disability Issues is a great example of that type of commitment. Commissioners appointed by our mayor and city council are truly committed to making sure that Phoenix is an accessible and disability-friendly city. We thank the commissioners for volunteering to make our city better. Please welcome to the podium our city manager, Ed Zuercher.
So I'm pleased to be here today with some very remarkable people. I see lots of city employees here to recognize those of our own city employees who are nominated and who may even win an award. And we also have those from the private sector, our partners who are here. So it's an honor to stand here and be with each of you. We are really proud of the work that the Mayor's Commission on Disability Issues does in our city. They bring a much needed voice to the workplace, to the city, for the issues that surround those who have disabilities and special needs. And we're impressed with all the community groups, the corporations, city departments, employees that have excelled in Americans with Disability Act, or ADA, related barrier removal and innovation. In fact, last year I was proud to say that we had approval from the mayor and the council to hire a citywide ADA coordinator, and this year I'm pleased to be able to tell you that that person has now been working with us for almost a year. Peter Fisher is with us. Peter, thank you for what you're doing, for representing the city so well. And that's really a tribute to the hard work and the tenaciousness of the Mayor's Commission on Disabilities Issues. They never let the city manager's office forget of the commitment for the ADA coordinator citywide. It's an important symbol, but it's also an important reality of the commitment of the city to include all people in what we do. So let's give our MCDI a well-deserved round of applause. And so it's my pleasure now to bring to the podium, I would say, the best mayor in the United States, the best mayor in the United States for the issues of inclusiveness. Mayor Greg Stanton has made a cornerstone of his time on the city council for 9 years and now as mayor for 3 years, inclusiveness of all people, making sure that Phoenix is a place that welcomes all people. So the LGBT community, the homeless community, on and on and on, Mayor Stanton has championed the rights of all people to be included. And one of the highlights was including disability issues in the public accommodations bill that Mayor Stanton, Councilman Tom Siplot, and others advocated. Let's thank Mayor Stanton for that. And so with that, I'm pleased to bring to the podium a passionate supporter of the rights of all people, our Mayor, Greg Stanton.
I'm honored to be here for the MCDI Annual Awards ceremony. Ashley Bridwell, you said you were the former chair with the workload that you took on. It's probably best to say you're the recovering chair of the MCDI, but thank you for standing in this year. Your leadership is very, very much appreciated. Trevor, thank you for your great work within the city. Ashley, congratulations on the promotion. Look forward to working closely with you. And Ed Zuercher truly is a great city manager who is very supportive of some of the crazy notions that I and the council members come up with. And I appreciate your leadership in that regard. This event is a very, very exciting one every year. We celebrate not only the work of the commission, but champions in the community who are getting it done for the benefit of individuals who happen to have disabilities and for the benefit of all of us. And I just want to say to those that are wearing those red ribbons who serve on my commission currently and in the past, thank you for being outstanding leaders. Thank you for pushing me in the right direction, pushing the city in the right direction. That's exactly what you should be doing. These are no shrinking wallflowers who serve on the MCDI commission. These are great leaders and advocates. So please raise your hand if you're wearing a red ribbon, and I just want to publicly say thank you for your leadership on the MCDI commission. According to the U.S. Census, 30% of people living in the city of Phoenix have some sort of disability. Which means that when we advance our city, when we advance our community on the issue of being more supportive of people who happen to have disabilities, it's good for all of us, not just for the people who happen to have disabilities. Because when the unemployment rate, for example, is so shockingly high for people with disabilities, yes, it's a loss for that individual who is unemployed or underemployed when they should be fully employed, but when we don't have that talent in our workforce, that's a loss for our overall economy. This is good for all of us to make sure that we bring all of the talented people that are in our community with a disability or without a disability, if we bring them fully into our workforce, fully into appropriate supportive housing, make sure that our public accommodations, places that where public gathers, is fully accessible. That's just not good for those individuals. That's good for all of us as a society and a community. In Phoenix, we can leave no one behind. In Phoenix, we need all the talent that we can get if we're going to achieve our goals. And making sure that we are as accessible as possible is a long way. That 30% of people who happen to have some sort of disability needs to be fully involved in our community at all levels. And of course, we do know that when you're good on disability issues, often that is good when you are an aging community as well. There's a very close cohort there, and we are an aging community as well. So that means we're better off for those that, as we get older as a community, it's good for all of us as well. So there's many reasons why we need to keep pushing the envelope on disability issues and doing the best we can. So members of my commission, I'm challenging you to challenge me and challenge this city. If we're not living up to our standards, we're not living up to what we should be doing, push us in the right direction and challenge us to go in that direction. And again, this event is to really celebrate this commission, the success of the commission, what they're going to do in the future, and also to say thank you to these great champions who are going to get these awards. Individual city employees who are receiving these awards, individuals in the community, businesses that have gone the extra mile. Very much appreciated. And I see our chief is here with us, Chief Garcia. Thank you for being here. I know we're going to honor one of our Phoenix's finest today, but I also know that you personally have stepped up to the challenge and realize that our police department and those with mental health issues are going to work even more closely together. I really want to say thank you and just how much I admire you, and when issues come to the forefront, how you step up to the plate and say, we're going to do better. Our city is always going to strive to do better. I appreciate that leadership style very much. All right, so without further ado, I went over my time for my 2 minutes. I was supposed to give a short talk. Ashley, let's get on with the show.
The Mayor's Commission on Disability Issues was established to promote business and citizen involvement in the employment of residents with disabilities. These awards honor those who have overcome challenges and those who advocate on behalf of people with disabilities to encourage and support their participation in everyday life. The recipients that are here today represent the best and the brightest of Phoenix. We honor them because they demonstrate that our limits are only perceived and that they can be overcome.
All right, let's get this the awards going. The Architectural Award recognizes an architect, developer, builder, planner, group, or city department that has removed barriers and created full access to public-private buildings, outdoor space, thoroughfares for full inclusion of individual disabilities, and or made life easier through accessible transportation options. We received a few nominations in this category. First, Miss Amy Sins of the City of Phoenix Street Transportation Department. She was nominated for going above and beyond her duties as project manager. Ms. Sims was often found assisting individuals with many types of disabilities to navigate the ever-changing landscape of the light rail extension construction. She went above and beyond to accommodate everyone's needs by architecturally modifying and correcting clear paths of travel. And that is a moving target, because you can't just, sometimes we learn that as you move one thing, it makes it harder in other areas. So you have to be constantly vigilant in that regard. Ms. Sims should be proud of all that she has done to keep the Phoenix barrier-free during these difficult times of construction. And our first award in this category goes to Steve Lippard, CEO of Site Compass. This award highlights the achievement and expertise in the field of architecture and design. Site Compass is a Phoenix-based company that saw a way to help the blind and visually impaired via current technology and made it happen. Site Compass has donated many beacons to the School for the Blind and other locations, along with programming for these beacons. The application was used to interface with these beacons, often on a smartphone or device, is free to the end user. Site Compass is a powerful tool that uses Bluetooth technology to broadcast and receive information relating to one's current environment. The information can be practically anything, from telling a patron to the layout of a room or bathroom to what is on the menu at a restaurant. This is all read aloud to the user via mobile screen reader like voiceover. When the user comes within 300 feet of an environment that is mapped by Site Compass, they will be instantly pushed a notification that they are within range of assistance. The user then accesses the application on their smartphone and are provided helpful information and details on their surroundings. To see the looks on their faces of the ones who are able to use this technology, it is a look of independence, it is a look of thankfulness. People that have a vision impairment are some of the most patient people that we've had the pleasure of working with or meeting. They are so appreciative of this program. So what incredible use of technology. Congratulations, Steve Lippert of Site Compass, on this award.
Well, hey, thanks very much for this recognition. Really, on the behalf of my group, the team behind me, we have just a great group of people that are dedicated to making truly every environment accessible for everyone. So again, this is a great recognition. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Next award is the Community Service Award, right? Okay. Recognizes an individual or organization that has made a significant contribution by providing and or improving personal and community support for individuals with a disability, including, but not limited to, providing independence through more choice, information and control, advocacy efforts, or improving the social participation of all people. Unfortunately, the awardee was not able to attend, but I would be happy to accept his nominee on his behalf. So this year, 6 individuals were nominated for this prestigious award. 6 individuals. This is so exciting that we're getting more award nominees as this event gets more known in the community, because we know there are so many people out there doing amazing things. We want to know all about them and bring them here and tell them how great they are. So David Carey of the Arizona Bridge to Independent Living. David's name and reputation are well known in Phoenix and throughout Arizona as an advocate empowering persons with disabilities to lead full and independent lives. So let's have a round of applause for Mr. David Carey. The Phoenix Aviation Department Disability Volunteer Acquisition and Relocation Services Modification Program, also known as VARS, thank goodness, was nominated for its program, which helped over 62 individuals live their lives with fewer obstacles and more independence by making modifications in their home. Miss Andrea Sandoval, VAR's Program Supervisor, and Miss Rosanna Stokes will accept the certificate on behalf of their department and staff. Joyce Milliard-Hoey with Raising Special Kids was nominated for starting this grassroots organization to support families with disabled children with issues related to education, healthcare, and advocacy. Joyce was unable to join us this morning. However, accepting the certificate on her behalf is her nominator, Larry Clausen. And Raising Special Kids, if you've never had an opportunity to check them out, they can really be a beacon of hope for families that are struggling through raising children with disabilities, and were always a great resource for when I was working with pediatric, neurologically impaired pediatric children. It was a hot spot. We called them a lot. Had them on speed dial. Matthew Heil is the Public Information Officer for the Phoenix Public Transit Department and was nominated for his public outreach activities, specifically dealing with changes in dial-a-ride, among other accomplishments. Miss Megan McGilvra was nominated for her excellence with the YMCA's Y Achievers program. This program is committed to improving the quality of life for youth with disabilities by fostering growth through education, employment, social events, and individual case management. Noah Kress. Noah is an Eagle Scout with Troop 565, which is chartered through St. Timothy's Church, and he has performed his service project at one of our great city parks. Noah added enhancements to the Judith Tunnel Trail located at South Mountain Park. Noah conceived and raised almost $7,000 and has facilitated installation of accessible signage and an electronic guide system at the park. This guide system is a new technology application that describes in a grid format the surrounding area and features. Noah has dubbed his Eagle Scout project the Braille Trail, but it is much more than that. He accomplished his goal of making enhancements to the trail with innovative technology, signage in Braille and text, and by replacing or fixing 4 drinking fountains amenities. Now the visually impaired have the opportunity to learn about the South Mountain Park and its unique flora and fauna while walking on the Judith Tunnel barrier-free trail. The park ranger who nominated Noah for the award said, "We have already seen people who use the trail want to introduce their friends and families with disabilities to use the trail and take advantage of the new inclusive system." This young man exudes confidence and clearly understands the concepts of inclusion.
So I was just asked to explain lightly about why I chose a project like this. To keep it simple and short, one of my best friends, his brother, has disability issues, which made me more aware of the kind of struggles that someone goes through as they try to live their life. And then also, my mother is blind in one eye, and these two factors just kept me aware about the kind of struggles that people go through when they're trying to live their life. And when I was thinking about trying to conceive a project that actually sounded interesting to me, I just came up with this idea via my mother's blindness.
Come on up, Noah.
All right, the next award is going to be our business award. And there are two organizations that were nominated for this award. First, we want to make sure we give recognition to the runner-up for this award. Lissel Harder-Kelp, founder of Aquasock, which is nominated for her business Strong Connection Towards Employing Individuals with Developmental Disabilities. Mrs. Kelp and co-owner Gary Hickel have family members with developmental disabilities and share concern that the unemployment rate for people with developmental disabilities can exceed 80%. Therefore, Aquasock has partnered with Valley Life to employ people with disabilities from the Phoenix area. Thank you, Liesl. And the winner of the 2014 Business Award is United Cerebral Palsy of Central Arizona, and their leader, Mr. Armando Contreras. Armando Contreras and UCP are recognized for providing services to individuals with disabilities and their families since 1952. UCP is committed to helping individuals and their families achieve their goals and realize their full potential as they work towards an incredible quality of life. In April 2014, UCP conceived a project called Life Without Limits, a national initiative intended to empower individuals with disabilities so that they can build a better future for themselves and the community in which they live. This program demonstrates why this organization is an incredible asset to our community. And I personally, at Armando's request, had an opportunity to tour UCP, and I would say I was blown away. You are up in North Phoenix and providing incredible services to people there and throughout the valley. Disability services in-home and at the location. And by the way, that coffee at the cafe with your clients was darn good. That's a really good cafeteria and cafe there, and I'll be back. So please assist me in congratulating Armando Contreras and his staff from United Cerebral Palsy of Central Arizona for winning this year's Business Award. Armando.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. On behalf of the thousands of children and adults that we serve, on behalf of the Board of Directors, and I have two of my board members here, thank you for being here with us. On behalf of the over 300 staff that we have at United Cerebral Palsy, and especially the families that are served, the children and adults, I want to thank you. It's such an honor. Mr. Mayor, thank you for coming down to UCP. Mr. City Manager, I know you've been there as well. So such a great honor. Thanks to the committee and all of you here. Such a blessing. Thank you.
So now we're going to move on to the Outstanding Educator Award. It's granted to a teacher, school, staff, or support person who has provided exceptional education, service, and support opportunities to individuals with disabilities. 3 nominations were received for just 2 amazing individuals. Dr. Charles Roselle, principal of Levine Elementary School, was nominated as an outstanding educator, providing opportunities to the underserved since 2002. Dr. Roselle is recognized for his commitment to exceptional education and providing opportunities to improve the quality of life for students with special needs. Unfortunately, he's not in attendance, but we will be accepting that award on behalf of him, the nomination. So this year's Outstanding Educator Award goes to, drum roll please, Haley Ritter. Woo, 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 woo. So I got a few things to say about you, lady. Miss Ritter was nominated by 2 individuals for this award. She is a self-employed Arizona licensed American Sign Language interpreter who graduated from Phoenix College with Phi Theta Kappa honors, folks. And you may have noticed that she is volunteering as one of our interpreters today. She has to hold down her hands so she doesn't interpret while she's getting her award here. Miss Ritter has overcome adversity and excels despite a lifetime of idiopathic epilepsy, despite a traumatic brain injury and 3 invasive brain surgeries in 2003. Haley is also involved with her community by attending Environmental Quality Commission, Transportation and Infrastructure Subcommittee, and City Council meetings for the last 7 years. Ms. Ritter also serves as a District 5 representative for the Mayor's Ad Hoc Task Force on the Bicycle Master Plan and the Complete Streets Ordinance. Recently, the City of Phoenix offered an educational course in ASL at Phoenix College, and approximately 20 employees attended. During their 2nd semester of classes, Haley volunteered her time 2 days a week and tutored 3 employees outside of class. This tutoring session has now grown into the Phoenix's first American Sign Language Club, which meets, yeah, let's applaud that. That's awesome. That's awesome. Which meets weekly at lunchtime for anyone interested in continuing to practice their ASL. Ms. Ritter has been instrumental in educating the city staff to meet their goals of achieving competency in ASL. Ms. Ritter has also established structure within the sessions and has encouraged the students to be active directly with the deaf community. It is for these reasons that MCDI honors her as an outstanding educator. Thank you, Haley.
I'm so honored today to be the recipient of this award. I've worked hard. My epilepsy has always been with me, and I've been kind of experiment for Western medicine my whole life, but I've survived all those challenges, and I encourage the deaf community to be more involved with all kinds of different programs. And I volunteer all the time at events and interpret, and I'm a huge advocate for the bicycling community here in Phoenix because it's not legal for me to drive. So I encourage the mayor and the city council to continue their wonderful improvements with the city of Phoenix. They're moving in the right direction, and I'm excited to see all these things happening. And thank you so much, everyone here, for being here and participating in this wonderful event. And to all the other recipients, congratulations on your awards. Thank you so much, everyone.
All right. The next award, our big award, is the Pride of Phoenix Award. It is our Lifetime Achievement Award, and it goes to an individual who has made an impact for many years in the lives of individuals with disabilities. This award recognizes an individual, a group, or organization who has demonstrated a lifetime commitment and helped advance the full inclusion of people with disabilities into our community. 2 individuals were nominated for this highly acclaimed award. First, in-house nomination. The in-house nomination was the City of Phoenix Equal Opportunity Department. It was nominated for its diversity inclusion by hiring a highly qualified national candidate for citywide ADA coordinator. EOD in the City of Phoenix are worthy of this recognition for their commitment to providing people with disabilities the opportunity to participate in mainstream society. EOD and the city go beyond requirements and mandates and hold inclusion of all as a core city value. So accepting the certificate, it's not the big award, but the certificate for nomination for this very prestigious award on behalf of the Equal Opportunity Department is Deputy Director Trevor Bowie. Trevor. Now for the awardee, the Phoenix Pride Award. And not only are we going to give this individual the award, from this day forward, the name of the award will be named after this honoree. From this point forward, this special award will be henceforth known as the Detective Walter Olson Lifetime Achievement Award. So guests, I present to you our 2014 Pride of Phoenix Award recipient, a member of Phoenix's finest, Detective Walter Olson. Detective Walter Olson does so much, but he coordinates the city's accessibility compliance enforcement program. Began in 2000. Detective Olson is a professional. He does an incredible job. However, his commitment far exceeds the requirements of the job description. He is a champion and an advocate for accessible parking and is recognized subject matter expert on accessibility compliance enforcement. Other jurisdictions in Arizona, including other states around the country, seek his advice on initiating disability parking compliance programs in other areas. Because of Detective Olson's, Phoenix is considered a model for accessibility nationwide. He responds to inquiries with comprehensive documentation that serves as a blueprint for building their own programs. With humility, Detective Olson exemplifies servant leadership, commitment, passion, and professionalism. Chief Garcia, you got a good one in this guy. Detective Olson, not only are you the recipient of the Phoenix Pride Award, the award from henceforth will be named after you. Congratulations. Thank you for your incredible service.
Well, I just want to say I'm very humbled by the award. I've learned in my long police career that being a badged advocate for people with disabilities is probably the most amazing opportunity I've ever had. And I've also learned about my own weaknesses and the strengths of people with disabilities. They're just amazing folks. I've been honored with my work with the commission. I'm going to miss them very much. I'm about to leave this profession, and I'm going to miss them terribly. But it's been an honor and a privilege to work for the City of Phoenix Police Department. I want to thank my friends and family for showing up today. It's an honor. They surprised me, and thanks for this wonderful award.
So I just actually have a few more things to say about Detective Wally. Detective Olson will be retiring after 30 years on the Phoenix Police Department and currently and is currently a motor officer assigned to the Traffic Education Safety Unit. He manages 2 traffic programs and 35 police officers. Detective Olson has worked the last 24 years in the Traffic Bureau with 7 years as a fatal collision detective. He has testified as an expert in city and county courts in the field of vehicular collision reconstruction. He is a graduate of NAU. We won't hold it against you. Fear the fork, with a degree in education. He is an adjunct faculty member at Scottsdale Community College, where he teaches criminal investigation and policing practices. I think the mayor said it so eloquently, but Detective Olson is also described by his colleagues as a brother, which I think is probably one of the highest compliments anybody can give you, is as a brother. Personable with each and every individual he encounters. He shares an unbiased, positive, and caring demeanor and is instrumental in accomplishing great successes. So some other awards, although this is probably going to be your favorite now, he has received during his tenure include the 2011 Award of Merit from the Phoenix Fire Department, 2010 nominee for the Arizona Disability Advocacy Coalition Community Advocate Liberty Award, a dedicated advocate for the justice and equality of Arizonans with disabilities, the 2007 City of Phoenix Individual Excellence Award. Detective Olson has gone above and beyond when it comes to the disabled community and is the quintessential model of community service, excellence, and the pride of Phoenix.
So we want to congratulate all the award winners. Thank you to all the individuals, businesses, city employees, organizations, employers, everyone who works so hard each day to make sure that Phoenix remains a community where differences are respected and where a wide range of talent, skills, and abilities are nurtured and encouraged. As the mayor noted, that's what will make us a greater and greater city in the future. And so we're all blessed to live in this community where perseverance, commitment, diversity, and teamwork are not only valued but championed. May we continue to honor the traditions set before us and continually strive to make Phoenix a diverse, inclusive, and accessible community. So please join me in a final round of applause to personally congratulate all the exceptional recipients. Now it is our pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker for the event, Mr. Scott Hogsett. Scott is a husband, father, an American Paralympic Wheelchair Rugby player from Spokane, Washington, who was a world champion gold medalist in 2006 and 2010. In the 2004 and 12 Paralympic Games, Scott won 2 bronze medals, followed by a gold at the 2010 World Wheelchair Rugby Championships. He was also team captain of the 2012 Paralympic Rugby team that competed in the London Paralympic Games, where Scott and Team USA went on to win a bronze medal. Scott has been playing wheelchair rugby for 18 years and currently plays for the Phoenix Heat. He helped lead the team to the U.S. Quad Rugby Association Division I National Championship in 2006 and again this past year. Scott and his teammates practice locally at the world-renowned and city partnership with ABLE. Phil is here. Congratulations on this. The ABLE Virginia G. Piper Sports and Fitness Center at Washington and 50th Street. It is our honor to introduce our keynote speaker, Scott Hogsett.
Well, that pretty much says it all. See you later. Wow, what a cool event. Congratulations to all the awards recipients. It's awesome. Before I get started, I'd like to personally thank the City of Phoenix for everything you did in helping bring the Virginia G. Piper Sports and Fitness Center to the city. It's an amazing facility. It made so many dreams come true for the disabled. And if you have not been down there to check it out, go down to the airport. It's just off of Washington Street, and check it out. It's an amazing place, and I'm there quite often, and I love it more than anything. Thanks again. So, like I said, I enjoy educating people about disabilities. Last week, I was at my son's preschool class. He's 4 years old, which is the best age ever. They say some of the funniest things and the cutest things. So, and it's kind of funny in the fact that I'm talking to the city of Phoenix now and actually moving on up, which is nice. But so I'm at my kids' little preschool class, and they have a million questions to ask me about, my situation. And this little girl raises her hand, and I call on her, and I'm like, "You have a question for me?" And she goes, "Yeah, it's Scott. Well, first of all, I have a Hello Kitty backpack." And I'm like, "Oh, that's nice." Yeah. But she's like, "How do you and your wife sleep in your wheelchair?" I'm like, "Well, we turn sideways and get real cozy and cuddly in here." But it was kind of funny in the way she asked it, because at that age, and really, I mean, I've had people of all ages ask me kind of crazy questions because they just don't know. And that's why, like, the more I can educate, the more you know, the more you understand, and the less intimidated you are about the unknown. And so I told her I live a very normal life. Just like most people with disabilities, we do live a very normal life. We just live it sitting down. And, a lot of us are very active. And for me, it was sports. I've always been an athlete, big-time athlete, even before I got injured. It goes back to when I was 19. I got injured when I was 19. It's been 22 years. Wow. But before I got injured, I was a huge athlete. I was playing really any sport. I was kind of living that wild life, sports, partying, and girls is kind of how it went through high school. And, and it caught up with me. And so I made a poor decision and went out to a lake cabin out at a party on Coeur d'Alene Lake in Idaho. And I don't usually spend a lot of time telling people about my story, how I got injured, because, yeah, it was a dark moment at the time. It was something that happened, but I moved on. But it is important for all you to know. So I was out at a lake cabin, underage drinking going on. And you know what happens there. A lot of people make poor decisions when that happens. And this one kid was very, very, very intoxicated. And we were all out on this back deck partying, enjoying the day, or night. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. And before I knew it, the kid was trying to pick a fight with me, and I wasn't really paying attention to him. And the next thing I know, he picked me up and threw me off the deck. And I fell 10 feet and broke my neck, which is kind of crazy, right? I landed right on that ball on the back of my neck. Sorry, my voice is a little hoarse. I was at the Sun Devil game on Saturday, and it hasn't come back. Yeah, I know. Go Devils. But, yeah, so I broke my neck, and it rendered me a C5, C6 quadriplegic. I do have pretty good use of my arms. A lot of people think quadriplegic means Christopher Reeve, or you're paralyzed from pretty much your chin down. But no, there's all different levels of quadriplegic. And for me, it was a dark moment because I didn't know anything about disabilities, didn't know anything about being a quadriplegic. I just thought guys in wheelchairs play basketball, but it is so untrue, and especially with technology today and everything that's, evolved, and really through rehabilitation and attitude, it's more about what people with disabilities can do instead of what we can't do. And it really is. So going back to those days, back in the rehab days, this was in '92, and I rehabbed in the hospital for like 6 months. And during that time, I was like, my head was spinning. I'm like, well, what am I going to do with my life? And I really had no idea about wheelchair rugby, had no idea about murder ball, had no idea about really anything other than the fact that I was kind of in a wheelchair. And so my dad came to me, and my dad's probably one of the most insensitive guys you'll ever meet in your entire life. And he was like, what happened to you is pretty severe. But, you still have your brain, and your brain can get you through anything. So I sat there, and I was like, wow, he's got a good point. But I knew nothing but sports. And so from that point on, I didn't look back. I decided to make it, a challenge of a lifetime. I'm going to see how far I can take this and see what happens. Because, at some point, everyone has to deal with adversity. You might be dealing with it now. You might have, for all of you that have never dealt with it, I promise you at some point you will. And it's really how you handle that adversity that will define you. It can either make you or it can break you. And for me, I allowed it to make me. And I actually turned it into something golden, like a gold medal from Beijing, that I sleep with under my pillow. And yeah, but you know, and it didn't happen right away. You know, I had a lot of accomplishments along the way and a lot of setbacks. So for me, once I got through rehab, the most important thing for me was the ability to be able to drive. It was so important. I got to drive. And for all of you that don't know how someone with a disability drives that can't use his feet, we use hand controls. And so there's a lever next to the steering wheel that we pull down for gas and push in for brake. I'm actually a better driver now than I was before. Don't ask my wife. She's scared to death to drive with me. But, you know, but driving is freedom. And really anyone can drive. And I'll share a quick story with you about it. It's pretty funny, but at the same time it was, you know, a little life marker to let me know that everything was going to be all right. So back in the day, I used to drive from my wheelchair because it was that important. I couldn't really transfer myself, couldn't really move that well. But got my driver's license, and I had a minivan where I rolled up a ramp, and I'd roll right up the ramp and into my seat where I was driving. And it was a lockdown system. So I just roll up, cuckoo, I'm locked in, right? And my mom's following me from behind. We're driving downtown to go do some shopping. It's 5 o'clock traffic. So I pull up to the stoplight, and I hit the gas once it turns green. And I'm going, I hear click, click. I'm like, what the hell was that? And so it's like, all of a sudden that lockdown system released me. And in my minivan, there's no middle seat. And so it was like a drive-in movie theater. I just rolled to the back of the van, and yeah, and the van actually drove itself down this hill with my mom watching from behind. You got to remember that, you know. And she's been through enough, trust me. And so I'm driving, or it's driving itself, and it jumps a curb, and it goes through 3 yards, through one fence, just barely misses a dog, and then it ends up in a telephone pole. The best part about it is I wasn't injured, which is good. But the ironic thing is I ended up back in that lockdown system, and I couldn't get out. Yeah, exactly. My car was a little trash, but my mom came up to the car. She was crying. She was like, oh, do we have to go back to the hospital? I'm like, you know, actually, no. And the life lesson is that I realized I was not made of glass. And I realized that, you know, disabled people aren't made of glass. That, you know, we can live a very normal life and be very active. And so from that point on, my attitude changed. And I realized I needed to get out of Spokane, Washington, where I was from. And I moved down to Phoenix, Arizona by myself and got enrolled at ASU. And during that time, I just focused on getting my degree in college. And I did. I got a degree in therapeutic recreation. And, you know, I majored in partying and hanging out with meeting girls and all that, and still didn't know much about sports until really about a couple years after living here. I had a guy approach me and say, you know what, you need to play wheelchair rugby. I knew nothing really about it other than the fact that it was, you got to kill someone in a wheelchair head on. It's like, oh, it's like perfect, you know. It's like, how many sports do you get to go hit someone as hard as you want? And so that night I went out to practice. I was absolutely terrible, but, you know, I went anyways. And over the years, I got better and better at the sport, and the sport became an addiction. And all of a sudden, it's like, wow, this is awesome. It feels like just like I did before I got injured. Waking up, playing sports, hanging out with the boys, and living the good life. And then the sport didn't just turn into an addiction. It turned into, wow, I have a chance to take this a long ways. And so with a little dedication and commitment, I ended up making my first U.S. team in wheelchair rugby. But I had a few lessons learned along the way. I got cut about 4 or 5 different times. Threw away my jersey one time in the garbage can, said I was never playing the game again. But yeah, I think everyone's got to learn and grow before they move forward. And I went through that process. So with my first USA team, we traveled to New Zealand. I'm going to share this story with you real fast because it's a funny one too. We went over there as a complete rookie. I had no idea what to expect. The games were amazing. They were awesome, competing against the world and representing my country with the USA jersey. It was like, whew, this is awesome. And my teammates were amazing. Everything about it was just so cool. But they were like, hey, why don't we all go bungee jumping? I'm like, well, you know, I like extreme sports. I'm game. Let's do this. And so we went bungee jumped off the Quaru Bridge. right? The reason why I'm sharing this story is I just want you to know, it's like I'm not allowing anything to ever limit me, my situation, and no matter what, I just want to make sure I do whatever it is I want to do, no matter quadriplegic or not. So we decided to go bail off the Quaru Bridge, which is about a 450-foot drop. And the way it works is you kind of go out on this plank and you sit out there and you freeze to death for a little while until you get the nerve to bail off, and then you kind of drop 450 feet above this glacier water, and it's terrifying. But yeah, and so my buddies went first, and I went last, which was probably the dumbest decision of my life. So they all went, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Boing, boing. They take them over to the side, and it's all good. So it's my turn. And I get out there, and I'm like scared to death. I'm shivering. It's cold, and they have it the harness wrapped around my body. And I'm like, if I don't go, I'm never going to go. I'm going to sit out here and freeze to death. So I'm like, all right, I bail off. And so I'm free falling. I'm like, ooh, this is cool. Because I'd like skydived before that. Yeah, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, so I'm free falling. I'm going pretty fast. I'm like, this is awesome. This is cool. So I'm free falling a little bit more, and I'm like, wow, that water's getting pretty close. And I'm like, still going. I'm like, I don't remember my friends getting this close to the water. And so before I knew it, I bailed into that water all the way in. And the bungee cord never tightened up. And I'm like, this sucks. But yeah. So I'm underwater, and I'm like thinking of why didn't this happen to them? And so finally the bungee cord tightens up and snaps me out of the water. And so I'm going back up in the air. I'm wondering, like, well, I'm going to go back in there one more time. So I ended up back in the water. And so I look over at my friends. They go, how's it feel that $50 controls your life? They actually put a longer bungee cord on me without telling me. Yeah, great friends, huh? But it makes for a good story, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it's a good story, like I said, and I'm really good friends with that guy to this day, and he still tells everyone the story. But it's kind of how I live my life, and it's I don't let anything hold me back, pretty much. And from there on, that was in 2002, and then 2004 we went to the Paralympics in Athens, Greece, and we completely choked, and won a bronze medal. But during that time, we made a documentary, and I was one of the featured characters in the movie Murder Ball. Anyone here see it? A few people. I need to know. Oh, really? All right, I won't hold it against you, but it is a really cool movie. It was nominated for an Academy Award. We lost to the March of Penguins. I don't know really how you lose to a penguin, but yeah, we were runners-up. If Morgan Freeman doesn't narrate that March of Penguins, we win it, I swear. But check out the movie. It explains a lot about disabilities, being a quadriplegic, and all that. It is rated R for locker room talk, and it's athletes really being athletes is what it comes down to. And it talks about our fierce rivalry with Canada, which, those Canadians. But, and we choked to them. Bronze medal in 2004. But after we lost that game, my game picked up, the team's game picked up, and we didn't lose again until London, where we choked again and lost to Canada in 2012. But along the way, in 2006 in New Zealand, we won a gold medal. In Beijing, the Paralympics there, I was lucky enough to win a gold medal. And we won another gold medal in 2012 in Vancouver at World Championships. And then London, which was my final hurrah. I was hopefully going to go out with a gold medal, and instead we choked and won the bronze. But, it's hard to win medals. And I'll take whatever medal I can possibly get. The Paralympics is the second largest sporting event in the world. There's 3,500 athletes, and everyone wants a medal. And I learned a lesson that, you never let your guard down. You got to train. Nothing's ever given to you. And that kind of goes along with my disability, too. It's like, everyone, the adversity and all that, in order to get to where you want to go, you're going to have to work hard. It's just part of it. Nothing's ever given to you, especially in life. And so it was a lesson learned. For me, I loved every second of my career, and I accomplished a lot. And in April, this last year, well, actually it goes back to November, I got a phone call from the Arizona Sports Commission, and they said, you've been nominated to go into the Arizona Sports Hall of Fame. I like laughed. I'm like, is this one of my buddies playing a joke on me? I was like, and they go, yeah. And it was a real one. They're like, you would be the first Paralympic athlete to go into the into the Hall of Fame. I'm like, well, that's pretty cool. They're like, you should probably research it and see who's in it. So I go back and I get online, I research who's in it, and I'm looking like Kurt Schilling, Jake Plummer, Phil Mickelson, Lute Olson, and I'm like, I'm not going in. There's no way I'm going in there. So I didn't even tell my mom. Well, I did tell my mom, and I told my wife. But I didn't tell anyone else because I was like, there's no way it's going to happen. But then January, I got a phone call, and I still had the message recorded. They're like, hey, you've been, it's a unanimous decision, and you're going into the Arizona Sports Hall of Fame. You'll be inducted in April. And last April, I was inducted into it, and first Paralympic athlete to go in, which is, it's just awesome, and it's a cool way to, yeah. It's a really cool way to end my career. At the same time, you know, I had the opportunity to play with some amazing athletes, and really they deserve a lot of the credit. You know, it's really not an individual award. It's a team award, and so I'm very thankful to have played with those guys. And I've also spent a lot of time in St. Joseph's Hospital and Barrel Neurological, being a peer mentor / barrel connector, working with the newly injured, kind of like an ambulance chaser. I wait for those guys to break their necks, and I'm all over them trying to get them. Trying to get them out of the hospital as soon as possible, either playing rugby or getting active and getting involved as much as possible. And I think that the Arizona Sports Commission recognized that, along with the medals that I had achieved, and it all kind of came together as a perfect storm to be inducted in the Arizona Sports Hall of Fame. So, you know, it's like, hopefully it paves the way for other deserving Paralympic athletes to one day go into the Arizona Sports Hall of Fame. I'm just very thankful. And it's been a huge honor and a privilege to talk to all of you today. So thank you very much.
What I love the most about what Scotty said is that we as people with disabilities are not made of glass. We are not fragile. We walk a little different, or we hang out in chairs quite frequently, but we are just as powerful and can do just as amazing things as anybody else. And as you've seen here today, we are incredible human beings and a community of survivors and pushers and athletes and advocates. And so I hope that this event each year brings your awareness just a little bit more to what additional things can be done in the community to make sure that we are being inclusive to our brothers and sisters with disabilities.